Welcome ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to show you how you can grind fast to level 50 or grind experience points for champion points after you reach level 50. If you want to grind from level 1 to level 50 for an average person, it takes about 10 hours. For a very experienced player, it might take 2 to 4 hours. So there's a lot of things that you can do right or do wrong. I will be explaining everything here. I also do have a very detailed grind guide on my website, which you can check out, link in the description below. Now what can you do to increase your experience gain? So as you can see, there is potions or scrolls that go from 50 to 100 to 150% increased gains. That's a lot. You do have daily login rewards that you can use, so I would recommend just always do those because you will find experience scrolls in there, so you always have some ready to go when you need them. Otherwise, you can also buy potions from the guild stores, but they're quite expensive, especially for new players. The second thing, there's for example training gear that you can use to increase your experience gains. So if you're in a guild that helps new players or just in any sort of guild, you can ask people to craft you training gear. Another thing, ESO Plus. Basically a subscription. If you have that, you gain another 10%, and if you're married to somebody else with the Ring of Mara, you can get another 10%. There is even more stuff, as you will see in a second. To give you an oversight to what's possible, so when we have a pretty basic setup, 70% from gear, 8% from the weapon trade, 10% from ESO Plus, 10% for being in a group of 2, and 50% experience scroll or drink, you're at 148% experience boost. And when we look what is possible in terms of max experience boost, you can add 150% experience scroll or drink to it, and another 100% from an in-game event. That would give you 358% experience boost. That's with purple gear, by the way. You could get a little bit higher with gold gear, but it's not worth it, obviously. And 100% from in-game events. So that's like Witches Festival, New Lives Festival, Chesses Festival. You will see or know when one of those in-game events is available. Sauce usually always announces it in-game. And there you get 100% experience boost for free. So even if you have a basic setup and you, like there is an in-game event, you can get 250% pretty fast. And that's what I said, if you prepare correctly, you can grind up to level 50 in 2 hours if you know what you're doing. But if you do not have any of these boosters, it will take you 10 hours, maybe even 15 hours, you know? So you really need to prepare your character if you want to grind efficiently. If you're a new player, I recommend joining a newcomers guild. There is a lot of them and you can ask them to craft you training gear. So you are at least prepared a little bit and you gain some extra experience. To show you my character, I'm currently grinding up on the NA server. My main account is on the EU server, that's where I usually play, but I also want to get more active on the NA server. First thing I mentioned, daily login rewards. So everyone can get them if you log in daily. And I think it's very important because you can get a lot of experience scrolls. And you see here, just from logging in, I got 250% experienced boosters. And here is another 50% and so on. And when you look at look how many scrolls I have. That's just from daily login rewards. So I did not spend a single dime in the crown store to actually buy scrolls. Like, you could also buy some experience. Let's see. Utility. Yeah, you can buy 50% scrolls here if you want to. But it's not necessary because, as you can see, you will have enough if you log in daily. So that's why I say, if you're a new player, it's very important to log in daily. Or as much as possible. That's this. And when you look at my setup, I have a pretty basic setup here. I'm already max level, but I'm grinding champion points. So I have like training gear that gives me, if it's purple, it's 10% each. Yeah, those two are not training trade because I couldn't find the helmet and the shoulder, but like 5 pieces here. And my 2 weapons are also training trade, so get another 8% here, like I explained before. Then I am ESO Plus member to get the 10% extra experience, and I usually recommend people, if you can afford it, go for it, because you get the crafting bag, which stores all the crafting materials. It's very important. And I do have my 150% experience scroll active. So that's more or less already it. Now, if there is an in-game event going on, I will obviously get that buff as well, but at the moment there is no event. But again, I keep saying, make sure, if there's an in-game event going on that gives you 100% XP boost, make sure to go get it. Very important. You can always ask me during my Twitch live streams on twitch.tv/AlcastHQ, or just in the comment section YouTube, or on our community Discord. Link is also in the description below. So now you might wonder where I was grinding. So this here is basically Cold Harbor, Court of Contempt, and I'm just running circles here. That's what I did before. Pretty good grind spot. In my grind guide on the website, I showcase about 10 different very good grind spots, which, if you have all the experience boosters, it takes no more than 5 hours to level up from 1 to 50. Again, if you're a new player, maybe don't worry too much about grinding, just enjoy the storyline. You also get a lot of skill points through that, and yada yada yada, okay? Another important thing, while you're grinding experience, you also want to level up as much skill lines as possible to level 50. Now, how do you do that? So at the moment I'm running dual wield. So dual wield levels up fast, because I have those two abilities slotted as well, because this here is my AoE ability. You want a lot of AoE damage. But I also have two-handed and the destruction stuff ability slotted, but, well, I cannot use them. Yes, that's correct. However, all abilities that are on the bar will gain experience. So technically, you can level up a lot of different skill lines. Like when I slot all those different things here. Let's put two-handed, maybe there, and another, or maybe a bow ability here. Now, I can still kill enemies easily with my steel tornado and my back bar, right? I have a lot of AoE damage. But now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different skill lines that will level up at the same time. Because as long as the skill here is slotted, he will gain experience, and then he will also gain experience for a skill line. That's something that a lot of people do not know. That's very important. Now, only, like when you kill the enemies on this bar, you will only gain experience for this bar and not for the back bar. Very important. So that's another small tip that you might want to take into consideration. But keep in mind, things like fighter skilled do not level up the same here. You need to destroy dark anchors or kill the Daedra and undead to increase fighter skilled. That's why I also usually prefer grind spots that do have undead or Daedra, because you level up fighter skill at the same time. Mage's Guild, you need to do like to farm lore books and so on. And Undaunted, you need to do dungeons, so that's a little bit different. The last thing I can recommend, do your daily dungeons. When you the dungeon finder, get 100k experience from doing this. Same for Battlegrounds. So it's very easy experience. To quickly showcase, this is one of my new characters. He's just level 7. I'm slowly grinding him up, and you can see I gave him some blue training gear and some training weapons to already gain a little bit extra experience. I have ESO Plus and the 50% experience scrolls. Now with new characters, it's very important that you also get fighter skill, mage skill, and undaunted. And if you have Somerset, obviously the Suchik order thingy. I do explain that also on my website. I have a complete beginner's guide that if you're new, I would highly recommend reading, so you do not forget anything important if you're starting a new character. That is it. Again, check out the grind guide on my website. Everything is very detailed there. Please make sure to not forget to subscribe and hit that juicy like button. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Cheers.